Japanese horror stories. Never look at it. One summer, my brother and I stayed at our grandparents' house in the countryside. One day, we went outside to play. Unlike the city, the area was surrounded by rice fields, and the air was incredibly fresh. I enjoyed the cool breeze as my brother and I played around the fields. Suddenly, my brother looked into the distance, pointed, and said,
There's something weird over there.
I followed his gaze, but only saw a regular scarecrow.
Are you talking about the scarecrow?
I asked. He shook his head.
No, not that. Look further back.
He squinted, focusing on something beyond the scarecrow. Curious, I stared into the distance. Then I saw it.
What is that?
It was too far away to make out clearly. There, beyond the fields, was a white, human-sized figure twisting and writhing unnaturally. But there was nothing around it. Just rice fields stretching as far as the eye could see. No roads, no houses. It didn't make sense for someone to be there. Feeling puzzled, I tried to make sense of it.
That must be a new kind of scarecrow. Yeah, that's it. Someone in the village probably invented a moving one, and it's just swaying in the wind.
My brother seemed to find my explanation reasonable, but in the next moment, our assumption shattered. The wind stopped, but the white figure kept writhing. My brother, now more curious than ever, muttered,
Hey, it's still moving. What is that?
Determined to find out, he ran back home and brought a pair of binoculars. He looked excited.
I'll look first, then you can have a turn.
He said. He raised the binoculars to his eyes, and instantly his expression changed. His face went pale, and cold sweat began dripping down his forehead. The binoculars slipped from his hands and fell to the ground. Fear gripped me as I saw his reaction.
What did you see?
I asked. He spoke slowly, his voice trembling.
I don't know how to describe it.
He didn't say anything more. He simply staggered back toward the house. I had to know what had scared my brother so badly. I picked up the fallen binoculars. But remembering my brother's reaction, I hesitated. But my curiosity wouldn't let me stop. Even from here, the strange white figure kept twisting and writhing. It looked odd, sure, but that was all.
All right, I'll look.
I'll see for myself what terrified my brother so much. I raised the binoculars. Just then, my grandfather came running toward me, looking frantic. Before I could ask, "What's wrong?" he shouted,
You must not look at its face. Did you look? Did you use the binoculars?
He pressed me for an answer.
No, not yet.
I stammered. Hearing that, he sighed in relief.
Thank goodness.
He was so relieved that he started crying. I had no idea what was happening, but he dragged me back home. When we got home, everyone was crying. Then I noticed something was wrong with my brother. He was lying on the floor, laughing hysterically while writhing, just like that white figure. The sight of my brother terrified me far more than the white figure itself. On the day we left for home, my grandmother said,
It's better to leave him here. Your house is too small, and besides, considering what others would think, you wouldn't be able to handle it for long. He should stay here for a few years. Then, when the time comes, we'll take him to the rice fields.
Hearing this, I broke down, screaming and crying. The brother I knew was gone. Even if I came back next year, that thing wouldn't be my brother anymore. Why did this happen? We used to play together. We were so close. Why? Wiping my tears, I got into the car and left. I held onto the binoculars tightly. Someday he'll go back to normal, right? I kept telling myself that, trying to remember my brother the way he used to be. and the endless green rice fields. I thought about all our memories together as I gazed out at the rice fields. And then, I saw.
This story is a ghost tale that began circulating on the Japanese internet in 2000. Around 2003, more users on the Japanese online forum Tuki started sharing and creating different versions of it. The version I'm sharing today is widely recognized as the most complete one. If you liked today's story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.